So we're looking for the ratio, we're given the angle. So what does the ratio mean? Well, that means adjacent over hypotenuse. So we know it's in quadrant 2, Josh said. Very nice. So I see 5 pi over 6. I know 6 pi over 6 is 1 pi. So therefore, it must be in the second quadrant. So remember, we know that's the standard position. Standard position means always start with this positive x. And if I start with a positive x, I go until I get to 5 pi over 6, which is right there. Next, we always draw a triangle with respect to the x-axis.
I don't know if my mic picks up the classroom thing, but it might.
Next, I go through, label all my next.
It's so early.
Well, if that's 5 pi over 6, Nathan, what's my reference angle? 5 to 6. He wants to get to 6 pi over 6. Pi over 6.
Oh my fuck! Holy shit! I just fucking.
So now that's why we need that reference angle, so I can use my special triangle. Because we're not supposed to use a calculator, because calculators don't give us.
I had a fucking heart attack there.
Now we have a special triangle. Okay, I see the pi over 6. Opposite pi over 6 is the 1, so therefore I'm going to put a 1 there. I know the hypotenuse is 2.
I answered my question right, Jacob.
That length is 3. Now something's not quite labeled properly on my diagram. Let me ask Julian, what's incorrect about the root 3, 1,
Ooh, rumble.
2?
Sold.
I don't have the negative.
Very nice. Very nice, Julian. Good for you. That is something people often forget. There has to be a negative beside the root 3. So now up it's positive, so the 1, okay, hypotenuse, remember, is always positive. It's the radius of a circle. Radius is always a positive value. Okay, so now I have my triangle labeled, so now it should be easy for me to find my ratio. If you know what we're doing, it should be easy. If you don't, then we need more practice. Jaden, what's my ratio?
Practice on this.
Yeah, so look at the triangle. What's your adjacent? What's your hypotenuse?
I forget what ratio means.
Okay, yeah. So let me write down. So cos theta, good for you for communicating. Very nice. Adjacent over hypotenuse. So now look at your triangle. We're given the reference angle. I'll circle it. So that's your reference angle. Use that angle.
1 over negative 3. Negative
now,
squared.
Adjacent, which is
Rebel.
Adjacent 5 or 6?
Fucking out, kill him, bro.
Negative square root of 3.
Fucking kill him, bro.
Negative square root of 3. Which one's the hypotenuse?
2.
2. So not my ratio is negative root 3 over 2. If you don't believe the answer, you can always check in your calculator. This is where your calculator comes in. You should be using it to check your work from now on. So if you go cos 5 pi over 6, then it'll give you some decimal number, which is irrational, and that's why you can't convert it into decimal. But luckily, we have that. Now there's some programs out there, I'm sure Desmos will give you the exact value, but make sure you know how to do that, because once you get to university, they expect everyone to do it with a scientific calculator, so you won't have access to Desmos. They're getting away with stuff now. They'll come back to you, right? So don't take the easy way out. Make sure you try. If you don't understand, please ask. Okay, so that was one. We did that on Friday. Let me do stuff I never did on Friday. What if I say cos of 180 degrees, 180 degrees. See if you can figure out what this ratio is. So notice I switched into degrees first of all, so find out which quadrant that is in. So I know 180 is in standard position. Look at the example above. So that means to me, I start with a positive x. I go until I hit 180 degrees, which is right there.
I can get the sorcerer one.
So
yeah, I'll level up right here too.
Degrees. And now I need cos of that. So that's where the unit circle comes in. So take a look up here on the top right.
Oh fuck.
I look for
Poppy.
degrees. That's this number.
Nice.
So I know I have to do something with -1, 0. So unit circle is pretty easy to memorize. Actually, I don't memorize. I just visualize it on the graph. So I know it's x -1, 0. So now, can someone tell me what cos of 100 is without using the calculator?
Just spatula as well if they take Syndra.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Can you not do it because you'd be dividing by 0?
Okay, so very good. You remember some stuff like that. So I know it's adjacent over hypotenuse, which is what you're used to. But remember when we're using a unit circle, we said let's think of it. I'll write it on the side. So.
I will defend the stars.
Sine theta. Remember I said think of it as y over r. So another way of thinking of it, cos of theta. Remember it's adjacent, which is your x value, x over r. And tan theta is opposite, which is your y value over x. So memorize that or visualize the graph. I always visualize the graph. And now I say, okay, let's see. Cos of x over
There's
r.
3 level 2s.
What's my x value? So now I go look at this point.
This will be a close one.
That's my x. That's my y. So x is -1. What's my radius? Anybody, it's not 1. So therefore I get -1 out of that. So if you go to any calculator, make sure you change in the proper mode.
I need to make some money
I
here.
just gave you a question in degrees, so you should go into degree mode. Make sure you try it on your calculator to get used to, okay, what am I doing? What's my point? When people don't try it and you just listen, that's where you're not getting everything put together. You're not making connections.
All
So the
right.
cos of 180 is -1. I found out without using my calculator. Now that you're thinking in degrees, let me switch into radian. Let's get thinking in radian. What if I say what is cos?
Infiltrator. Fuck.
3pi over 2. So I'll give you a moment to think about that. First of all, you got to locate that angle. That angle is in standard position, not a ratio.
There we go.
That is an
Make some
angle.
money.
No more Mr. Nice.
Make sure you give it a try.
Ah, fuck.
Wait.
Hopefully I can get some cash from these guys. Oh, I have an extra character too.
Okay, so I'm gonna start now.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
Clues, and then you keep going on your own. I need to find 3pi over 2. I know that's 0.5. 1. 3 over 2 is 1.5. 1.5 pi. So I need to go all the way 1.5. It's right there. So remember I asked you to memorize some key angles. 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. So that gives
I should really get
all
Wukong
only
here pretty soon.
180, 270, 360. So now I go to my unit circle. I say, okay, where is 3? Right there. I need to copy that 0, -1 down, 0, -1. And therefore, okay, so I'd say, oh, I know it's still X.
Dude, kill him. Fuck, I got shit on. Wow, that's surprising.
X is 0.
Rebel Wave Master Brawler, that's a good
R
fucking
is 1.
combo.
0 divided by 1 is 0. You don't believe your answer, go into your calculator, make sure you change your mode. The only time you should be checking mode is when you're entering angles. Ratios you don't need. If I give you a ratio, you don't need to worry about modes.
Fuck hell.
So there, so I gotta
He's a
get
good
close.
team.
Charmed, I'm sure.
3, 4, divide by 2, so make sure you use your pi key, and it should give you exactly 0. Any questions about that? Nathan, you have to be a little bit more specific with your question mark. So when you put, gotcha.
Fuck. Oh, dude, someone kill him.
Mr. Shelton is trying to get a hold of me through Microsoft Teams. I'll have to talk to him later. All right, I think we got enough stuff done to get started with our graphing unit. So start with a blank sheet of paper. Let's give it a title, 4.3, graphing sine and cosine. So believe it or not, you've been working with trig since grade 10. So you did trig in grade 10, you did trig in grade 11. The stuff we've spoken about you've definitely done that stuff, but it takes our brain a couple times to see it throughout the year before it finally sets in and you make all these deeper connections. So now we're getting into something new. So I'm excited to teach you about this stuff. So in science, like when you're talking about waves going up and down,
Oh fuck.
and then
Bobby.
you're talking about your frequency, your cell phone, your radio, your TV, all this stuff's picking up all kinds of frequencies. So that is formulas related to sine and cosine. So if you're getting into any of this kind of stuff where you're trying to do tech engineering, that sort of stuff, you're working for cell phone companies, behind the scenes, again, as an engineer, that's when you're going to be using it. How many people use it? There are a few probably out there, but somebody needs to know this stuff. And of course, if you go into math and
Magic
sciences, you will have
resistance.
to be experts at this stuff. All right, here we go. So our first question is number 1. We're going to graph y
That
equals
Jinx?
sine. Theta. Oops, I should have reminded you guys to use graph paper. Can you guys switch into graph paper? I'll give you maybe a couple minutes. You might not have great graph paper in front of you, so I'll wait till 10:58 to start. I'll close this off.
Fucking all you need to. Damn, I'm getting fucking clapped right here.
They will remember my name.
Alright, let me start that again. 4.3. Graphing sine and cosine. Number 1. Graph y equals sine theta. So just like before, we don't know what the graph looks like. So if I don't know what the graph looks like, how do I start with graphing? What do I do? If I say graph y equals x cubed, let's say x to the 5th. What am I doing? We've come up with shortcuts for graphing x squared, x cubes. We've done exponential functions, roots. We've not done sine graphs. How do I start? Yes. Anybody, somebody. So start with 1. So what does that mean? So do I plug in 1 into somewhere? What does this 1? Do I plug it into theta? Do I plug it into y? Where does that 1 get plugged in? Good, so the angle is 1. So now I'm going to create a table of value. Now for those who don't want to call theta, you want to call it x, you're welcome to do that. So some people say, I don't like that.
I lost one of my items.
Theta is, well, technically it's still an x, but we changed the theta to remind us it's an angle.
Like it's just gone.
Number in front of sine is always an angle. Y,
I had
think about what y is. Make sure you
I had a giant's belt,
I'll give you a moment.
and it oh no, I put it on Ari. I made the trap claw. I was confused because I wanted to combine it, and it was fucking gone.
I'm in a class right now.
Okay, so if you want to call it x, you have x and y. Now it's always nice to
Don't worry, I'm good.
And we're going to work with gradients, okay? Because otherwise when number's 360 degrees, it's too big, and then you'll have problems with. Actually, it won't have problems. We just have to do every line is 90 degrees, that sort of stuff. But radians is more powerful. So what is sine of 0? So let's quickly draw your 2 special triangles, and then your unit circle right in your notes. You do your own, I do mine. You have everything right there.
Poppy, dude, you need to fucking heal.
And the more time you do it, I know it seems tedious every time, but the more time you do it, the faster you're going to get at it. Okay, who's got sine of 0? So 0 radians is right on the positive x-axis. So think about it as sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so therefore it is y over r. What is y over r? Anybody, somebody.
Damn it.
Let me ask Jennifer, what's my y value on the positive x? So look at the 1, comma 0. What do I put into y? 0, and what's my radius?
It's 1.
Good, it's always 1 for the radius, so therefore it's 0. When the angle is 0, the ratio is 0. Oh, theta is angle, y is a ratio. Now, Ethan earlier said make the angle 1. Well, there's nothing wrong with doing that. So back in when we did table of values before, when we did x, y, you don't need to copy this down. When we did x, y, you always did 0, 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2, and so on, right? But here's the problem. If I put in theta is 1, we don't need to copy this down. If I put theta is 1, remember that's 1 radian. Look at your special triangle. Is there a 1? No. Is there a 1 in my unit circle?
No more Mr. Nice Meatball.
No, there is no 1. That 1 is an angle. There is no angle as 1. We got 0. We got pi over 2, remember? We got 3 pi over 2, so look at the unit circle. Oops, that's pi. Let me try that again. I love scribbling. Scribbling doesn't get you that. For me it does. So then that becomes 3 pi over 2. And that becomes 2 pi. So 0 and 2 pi. So there is no 1 radian on your unit circle. So that's why we got to be clever in our choice. So let's go up. So I will tell you we're going to go up by pi over 6. And you'll see why we want to do that in a second. So for now, let's go up by pi over 6. Well, if that's pi over 6, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try. So we're going to try to get there. Let's see how quickly it flattens my running. In tablet mode, it's much nicer.
Ooh, shit.
Okay, so we're going to go pi over 6. Now I'm going to write this as 2 pi over 6. I want the integrals to be the same. So you know what, when we've been 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what are we doing? We're going up by intervals of 1. I could go up by intervals of 2. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. So it's the key is we want the intervals to be the same. So notice I'm going to go 0, pi over 6. So technically there's a 1 there. I'm going to put the 1 in for now. After 2 pi over 6, we'll come back and simplify. I'm going to put an equal sign so I don't forget. Then I'm going to go 2 pi over 6, so obviously it's 3 pi over 6. So it goes 1 pi, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6. And let's go up to 6 pi over 6. And then I'm going to take some shortcuts. 4 pi over 6. 5 pi over 6. 6 pi over 6. And then after 6 pi over 6, let's jump. So technically, actually, let me actually stop there and then I'll come back to it. Let's go back, simplify our ratio. So 2 pi over 6 is the same as pi over 3. So 2 goes into 6 3 times. Three over 6. Pi over 2. Apologize for all the little writing. I think you can probably see it easily on this screen. 4 pi over 6, there's a common factor of 2. So 4 goes into 2 times. Maybe by me making all these errors, it gets to be slowed down, but it's more time for you to think. 6 goes into 2 3 times, so that becomes 2 pi over 3. Let's write it up on the top. And once we get better at it, we don't have to write 3 pi over 6 and then simplify. You just go pi over 2. 4 pi over 6, you do mental math. 2 pi over 3. 5 pi over 5 pi over 6 doesn't simplify. 6 pi over 6, I would say 6 pi over 6, which becomes pi. Okay, now we got to find out what these ratios, we got to find out the y values, because in order to graph it, I need to know all my y values. Okay, so let's go and find out what sine okay, so it doesn't seem to be a tablet issue, maybe because I have the software on top of my tablet. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. Let me try that again. My writing is already bad enough as it is, and then compounding the technology doesn't end up being a little good. Okay, so I want to write down sine pi over 6. So, very quickly, that angle is in standard position. I'm not using my calculator to do these. I want them to be found exactly. So then I say sine pi over 6. Okay, that's quadrant 1. That's special triangle, pi over 6. Pi over 6 is angle in standard position. Then I see my special triangles. Okay, pi over 6. That means this is root 3. The pi over 3 is on the other side. I don't need to label it. I know that means this is 1, and then therefore that is 2. So I'll give you a moment to process that. So just by writing sine pi over 6, which is from your first few lessons before the holidays, and the quick review we did. So now you should be able to find out what the ratio is. So let me ask Graham, what is sine pi over 6 equal to? What's the value?
Come on, Graham.
Graham, one more time. What is sine pi over 6? So it's ratio opposite. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. So it would be roots.
Damn it.
Root 3 is my opposite length. My hypotenuse is 2, so it's root 3 over 2. Okay, let's find sine of pi over 3. Again, make sure you do your own. I'll give you a 5-second head start. Let's sine pi over 3. Pi over 3 is an angle in standard position. So once I've labeled the angle in standard position, I go to my special triangle and say what's opposite pi over 3? That's root 3. That must be a 1, that has to be a 2. Let me ask Jacob, what is sine pi over 3?
Sorry, do you want an angle?
So if I ask what is sine pi over 3, is it asking for an angle or is it asking for a ratio?
Ratio.
Ratio. So what's my ratio? Opposite of the hypotenuse.
Radical 3 over 3.
Good, you want to put 3 and 2. Okay, so now, did I do things up? Something funny just happened.
I think the first one's wrong, because you have
The first one.
the root 3 opposite of
Interesting.
5 or 6.
Opposite of 5 or 6, thank you, Julia. Yikes, yikes. It's so easy. Not sure what happened there, but pi over 6, opposite pi over 6 should have been like 1. Root 3, I knew something was funny, my instinct kicked in. And of course I could have checked it with my calculator. So now that should be 1 over 2. Can we go and change that 5 and 6 to 1 over 2, please? One over.
Yo, Jeremy, I'm gonna win. Come here.
Are you like
Okay,
listening to your
so
class while this
so
happens?
Yeah, no, it's all easy. Like, I don't like skipping class or like this. It's all easy shit. I'm not missing much. Look at this shit, dude. They're both one shot from death.
Okay, I don't see it in my
Well, up to
special
level 9,
triangles.
bitch.
Yeah, there's a 90
I don't have to
degrees,
put. I
but
have 10
we
people
don't
now.
use it to, we don't use the
There's
special
misfortune in your
triangle,
shop,
but
bro.
that's the unit circle.
No, I don't want
So
misfortune.
look at pi over 2, and then
Wukong
y
again.
over
He's
r.
not level again. Soroka level 2.
Gosh.
I mean, I don't need them, but I just want to level just for fun. Oh wait, she's already level 3, isn't she? No, no, I need 2 more of her.
It seems like they didn't stay strapped.
They did not stay strapped.
What was the question?
And now they're gonna get clapped.
So what is sine pi over 2?
Please, bro.
1.
Bro.
6.
Damn it.
I look at my spatial triangle, I see this 0 over 1.
I have so many duplicates.
2, so then I use the y value, which is 1.
Like,
the radius
I have
is
10
1.
people and I still don't even have sorcerer synergy maxed.
Any question about that unit?
Or even
circle?
a single
That
mystic
confusing
synergy.
to you?
Which I was planning on doing.
But why did you get food in Valcause?
Cause I want Vel'Koz. The sorcerer synergy, it's like whatever, right? Like, I could, I guess, but like he's me so like low level. I'm better off to start with the extra star guardians, just because like they boost off of the extra spell. Like it's actually I'm just shitting everyone. Rip, bro. I feel bad.
You just fucking won.
Oh, did I?
Right away.
No. Oh. The fuck? Yo, wait, where's the fucking phone, bro? Jacob. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful.
Okay, so